Hi and welcome to the Market Alert for Tuesday the 11th of November 2025. So big tech bullion Bitcoin bid as Washington wobble worries fade. So it looks like the government shutdown is coming to an end. Liquidity gush imminent from Washington reopening, the TGA unleashed, and Trump tariff dividend stimmies. Interesting, not more stimmy checks. US stocks gained on government reopening hopes. And positive China trade updates also facilitated risk-on environment, and stocks bid and dollar hit as optimism rises over potential ending of government shutdown. Economic news for today: we've just got the UK unemployment numbers, as they used to be called. We've got average earnings as well from the UK, French holiday, and also US bank holiday Veterans Days that we discussed in yesterday's Market Alert, which means that the government bonds, etc., will be closed today, 30-year, 2-year, etc. Right, let's have a look at the markets from yesterday with this positive news and kick off with the Dow. So in the Dow yesterday, we see the market moving to the upside there, taking out all of the averages and moving it to the sort of resistance to the left there. Just draw that one in just to see what sort of price we're looking at, 47,465. So maybe Santa is going to be putting in some sort of a rally and a new all-time high before Christmas. It's only the first week of November. Is it the first week? No, it's not. We're into the second, aren't we? It's the 11th today. So the market moving higher. It's been moving higher off that demand that we spoke about yesterday that came in on Friday. A bit more detail in the 30-minute charts. We were up in the pre-market. We traded sideways. We spiked to the upside to begin with, and then we sold off until we had more demand coming in. As you can see there's demand, market reversing, and then it was straight up with rumours of the US government shutdown coming to an end and a deal being done. And in the German DAX, the market's sort of still in a bit of a sideways range. It's just retracing itself from that range. We had the shakeout there. We saw the buying coming in, and now it's actually taking out the previous day's highs. It's had to go overnight as well. So a bit of a positive move there. But Europe closed today. Well, the French market is closed. So the DAX and the lack of news as well, obviously going to have to make its own direction to the upside. We do have some pink resistance lines here, which you can measure from down to the low to find out where we are in the bigger picture. At the moment, we're at 78% retracement with regard to this set of fibs, but you can keep marking these up to the different lines when one's taken out to the other, and 62% there. And then if we go to the all-time high down to where we're currently trading, again you can have a set of fibs there with resistance, and you can see there's a double one there, and that of course coincides with the resistance there as well, so you could expect a bit of profit taking at that level. 30-minute chart for yesterday was up in the morning, sideways, and then following the US after the initial drop at the open to the upside, and the moment we're also seeing there that there's a bit of buying coming in to try and get back above yesterday's high. In the S&P 500, this too is moving to the upside quite nicely. Let me just redo the fibs. That's the wrong place. Let me just grab that. So we're from there with the pink line down to the recent low, and there you can see that we're at 78.89. However, if we move up to the all-time high for the S&P and down, you'll see again, you can see why there's going to be an issue at this level, or potentially an issue at this level, with the fib retracements there converging, or more or less converging there. So 6857 and 6852. So just watch that area. And in the 30-minute chart, similar thing. We moved to the upside to begin with, then we came down. Again, demand coming into the market with the D, and then the buying obviously reversing this off the R1 and straight up and then sideways to Friday's, this is Monday's high there, and then starting to move back on the overnight. Meanwhile, in the UK, new all-time highs continue to be made. Wow, unbelievably, but there you go, 9880. We've got 2 weeks before Rachel from accounts speaks, but it doesn't make any difference anyway. Even the punitive tax measures and that are rumoured to be coming, it doesn't make any difference, and off we go. And there you can see again yesterday off the high, and then in the afternoon moving with the US overnight as well, late into the afternoon and overnight. So look at the US dollar, and in the US dollar it didn't really come back a lot compared to the headlines that we saw saying that the dollar had moved down because of the prospect of the government shutdown ending, and overnight sideways as well, so not really the biggest move on the downside. However, on the upside, let's have a look at the metals surprise yesterday. So starting off with silver, the market showing some new buying, breaking out of the sideways move for yesterday. How long this continues, who knows, but at the moment I'm quite happy to see it is moving back to the upside, up $2 yesterday, and that's stuck at the 62% retracement at the moment, which you can see. Let's have a look at the smaller time frame, 30 minute. There you can see that at the moment we've had a bit of a pullback. They're trying to buy back into this, but at the moment still sideways to low. It needs to stay above yesterday's high. So yesterday morning moving higher, and of course they can't help themselves in London, can you? The LBMA moving the market lower, but then futures contracts being snapped up as the market then moved higher off this level. In the gold market also moving higher as well, not as much as silver in percentage terms, but moving back to the upside, stopping at a 50% retracement there at the moment, or just trying to peak above that, so needs to head up towards the 62 to make progress. And in the 30-minute chart again you can see the LBMA, it's just classic. I may not sell off hugely, but you can always see when they're active in the market and setting the prices at lunchtime. So the gold market moving up in Asia, but subject to a bit of profit taking there at the moment. Again, you can see the volume there as they try and buy back in at the close of yesterday. Let's have a quick look at the gold silver ratio. So in the gold silver ratio, prices currently moving to the downside there. You can see yesterday and overnight still moving down there, but we're still above 81, which is massive, but we could do with a bit more on the downside there, back down towards the 79 there, which was only a few weeks ago, until they slammed the coordinated effort to slam the silver and gold prices. Right, let's have a quick look at yesterday's trades. So the normal pattern in the pre-market, move prices to the upside, which is exactly what happened there, and then we had a bit of a continuation until prices capitulated and moved down to the 200 MA and just below, which you can see there, and then reversing and moving higher. So obviously the market not knowing what to do yesterday, and you can see there mid-morning, just after 9, the market was sideways, very sideways, but eventually relented to the downside. But unfortunately, the R1 level became a support, and then prices reversing to the upside, which you can see there to make up the loss for the short signal there that moved down to the R1, the 50 EMA, and then reversed to the upside. Let's have a look at the afternoon. The market was up and down mid-morning, and eventually we got to the open of the US with prices moving to the downside, which the DAX followed down to the 200 MA and then just below, before we again see a bit of stopping volume there. We've got a green bar there inside of here as well at the psychological level, and then prices sideways to lower, just stopping at that level before making its way back to the upside once prices closed above the 200 MA, then through the 50, and then proceeding to make rising lows until it ran out of steam. And then we had another sell signal there, where on this occasion I thought we were going to be stopped out as prices came back above the 200 MA but fortunately it then moved to the downside, as can be seen there, until it got into a sideways move following the official 4:30 p.m. close. So where are we overnight? Let's just have a quick look. Again, similar picture, the market moving back to the upside, except different from yesterday because the high was quite a distance away. Today we're just a stone's throw away from the high. So with all things being equal, we'll continue to move, making new highs during today. Not all-time highs, but just intraday highs, and taking out the previous day's highs in the daily chart. Right, that's it for this one. Let's see what happens during today. Like I say, it's the French are closed. Bank holiday in the US as well for Veterans Day, but the stock markets will be open. It's just the government bonds, etc., that won't be. And the banks as well, of course. Right, that's it. Have a great day. And as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.